Hello and welcome to part 2 of British Steam Railways. This issue is 599, chronicling the rise of steam power as railways become lifeblood of our nation. World War I and the 1920s. Inside your book, famed locomotives, Great British Railways, Who's Who, engineering feats, working on the railways, the story of steam. Especially communitarised illustrations, historic photographs, and on the back what have we got? Second book in the British Steam Railways collection, working on railways plus the story of steam, British Railways, how the Great Western Railways became leading in tourism by opening up Cornwall and a new generation of holiday makers, engineering feats like the Forth Bridge, and part 3 is £3.99, and that's the regular price of £9.99. First issue was only £1.99, and as I said, this second issue is £5.99. Okay, this is about Flying Scotsman and the Castle class. Let's open it up. It says don't miss out on issue 3 and issue 4. So let's open up the book. More leaflets about bordering. Part 3, regular placement order. When you all the things you get learning to steam, some prints, and pocket watch. Okay, there's a nice picture. Quick introduction. I won't read it all, but in the 1920s saw the early beginning of the public relations industry, boasting out the power of the locomotives was an effort weapon of the promotional rivalry between the big four railway companies, which were Great Western Railway, LNER, Southern, and I can't remember the fourth one, but Great Western, LNER, Southern, and there's one more, I can't remember what the fourth one was. But, this is the Flying Scotsman. No other steam locomotive has made the headlines more often than Nigel Gresley's Flying Scotsman, from its record-breaking feats and overseas exploits to its recent last-minute rescue by the nation. But why was number 4472 so famous? It just there. Working model there. Flying Scotsman at speed at the late 1940s. Locomotive was renumbered 103 in the post-war years and repainted LNER green, in which colour it stayed till December 1949. Tell you the cost of power. Now, there's a typical, say, probably 1930s poster that says "Take me, the Flying Scotsman leaves King Cross every weekday." So that's kind of just to sell the Flying Scotsman. That poster was 1932 by A.R. Thompson. Famous Southern Railway's Little Boy poster. Unfortunately, this poster was not popular with the public for some reason. Then left Flying Scotsmen leave the Palace of Engineering through a hole in the wall at the close of the 1924 British Empire Exhibition at Wembley. There's like a diagram there. LNR Flying Scotsman A1 and A3. Wheel arrangement 462, which means 4 wheels to the front. These are 6 wheels. These are the working wheels, and then 2 wheels at the back. Cylinders 20 inch by 26 inch. Motion outside wall charters. Inside Grizzlies. Piston values 8 in diameter. Firebox 5 to 15 square feet. Tube's got 1,880 square feet. A1. Wheels leading 3 feet 2 inches. The tender, which is this bit where the coal's kept, is 4 feet 2 inches. That's a double chimney and pipe and blast pipe. Not until fitted until 1958. That's the boiler. That's the banjo dome housed a slough stream collector. It's distinct shape. It's best appreciated from above. Then we've got the wide firebox. Permits a large great area, therefore greater steam generation. The trailing truck supports the wide round up firebox, that supports that. Got the plaque, the Flying Scotsman. Outside Valley Motion. The builder's plate, just there. Suspicious side wide windows. Stuart Black. I've seen his name before elsewhere. I think Stuart Black paints lots of steam engines. Flying Scotsman repairs to Lee King's Cross in 1999. Oh, you can just see, I think that might be, no, might not, no. That's Alan Pegler poses with his new purchase in 1963. A disastrous tour saw the locomotive impounded in California in 1969. On the 6th of March 1939, and having corridor tended to one of the new steamlines, A4 Pacific Flying Scotsman returned to its first home in Doncaster shed, where she spent most of the war years, along with her other Grizzly Pacific and her quality vine. It's another owner. 15th January 1963, King's Cross shed, Roasted engine number 60103 for 115 London to Leeds service. American exile Alan Pelger believed he could capitalise on the locomotive's worldwide fame. In the 19th September 1969, Folkestone left Liverpool for a tour of the United States. For whatever reason, the enterprise was a financial disaster for Pegler, culminating into a triple tornado to San Francisco, whose major losses were left Pegler at the mercy of his creditors and the engine impounded in California. That's why the Flying Scotsman got left in America for quite a few years. Taking to Oz 1988 and 1989. The new owner, Saving Scotsman, the new owner of the Flying Scotsman at a price of 1.2 million was Dr. Tony Marchington, railway enthusiast and entrepreneur. He had ambitions to plan for marketing the engine, believing that he could brand values long term run into tens of millions of pounds. This must have looked a reasonable assessment when on 4th July 1999, an estimate 1 million people linked the trackside witnessed the newly overhauled number 4472 work between King's Cross and York. I won't read everything, I think, from the East Coast. Man of Vision. Nigel Grace's career reached a peak during the 1920s and 1930s with same of the finest and most famous of British locomotive designs. Doncaster Works, plant that built the best. Around 2,500 steam locomotives rolled off the production line at Doncaster Works. Among them were such giants as the Flying Scotsman and the Mallard, engines that helped make the factory one of the most important railway workshops in the world. And that's the Mallard there. Far left, Edmund Denson, who did so much to bring the works to the town of Doncaster, and Patrick Stirling, who was well liked during the time of the locomotive suspension at GNR. That's counting hammers and compressing air rivets being used to construct the boiler of the Silver King at Doncaster in mid-1930s. This is like a map area of all the railway lines at Doncaster, I presume. Doncaster Works at St Leger. Yeah, that's a map of Doncaster Works in 1902. So that's 1902, showing the newly constructed Grimsel shops. The main boiler shop at the plant showing boilers under repair. Above, Edward Thompson succeeded Grizzly after the latter death in 1941. Thompson made a point of banning congratulated rally system. It's a passenger brake van, LNR East Coast Joint Stock number 109. The van, which has teak body, was built at Doncaster Works and was formerly used as a Royal Train. Forth Bridge, Miracle Victorian Engineering. It takes a whole year to paint it. That's where the term painting, that's like painting the Forth Bridge. By the time it starts at one end, by the time they reach the other end, it needs to be repainted again, so they start all over again. So it's an endless job, that. John Fowler, 1817 to 1898. As an engineer, John Fowler had an upbringing. At the age of 16, after went to private education, he started studying under the John Saltton Leather, engineer of the Sheffield Waterworks. So Fowler made his own engines. the picture, one of the steel caissons used when building the granite foundation of the bridge. So this is like a design of how they built it. And an illustration, an 1890 illustration compared the Forth Bridge with the Eiffel Tower. Oh, I see. So that's like the eye. You can see like that is the Eiffel Tower. So it's a bit like the Forth Bridge, a bit like the Eiffel Tower being put on its side. Dry oxide of iron of natural organ 9 tons, red lead 3 tons, tar oil 20 gallons, and all the stuff that they used to make the bridge, I suppose. Building bridge cost $3,227 at the time. Fireman, the power behind the throne. The duty of the locomotive fireman is to provide an accurate supply of steam at all times and much these equate to the need of the road and drivers, so as to retain the requirement timetable. The fireman's job requires muscle as well as intelligence. Royal Scot class number 46121 scoops water from Dillicast through troughs. The tender has been overfilled. Hopefully no passengers are standing at the open windows. So it's a way of scooping up water on the track while the train goes along. This is a diagram, a simplified representation of the Great Western King class footplate. The driver would have been right on the fireman and the left. I think that's what that looks like. Castle. These are a few examples of the castle. King Edward II, Earl Batsworth, Country of Glamorgan. And these are 460, means there's 4 wheels front, 6 main drive wheels and on at the back. For 4 decades, Great Western Castles provided express service to Wales and West, became both design and classic enthusiast favourites. Great Western Castle class number 4096 Highclere Castle. Castle class number 4094 Devonor Castle in Sonning, cutting pulling the Ocean Liner Express from Plymouth to Paddington. Passengers disembarking from at Paddington. This is what Castle class looks. Cylinders times 416 diameter times 26 stroke. Piston hose 8 inches. Boiler diagram. Swindon standard number 8. Pressure 225 psi. Fireworks, 163.76 square feet. Tender, 4 foot 1.5 inches. Got 2 whistles just there. Slide window. That window slides. Injector feet clocks. So it's those bits just there. Safety valves in GWR bonnet, so it's just that bit just there. Double chimney. Fitted in October 1959. These models are here, they've only got a single chimney, not a double chimney. 4-row superheater fitted in 1959. Piston valves. Inside cylinders. Rack and leaf. Driving side cylinder valves. Outside cylinders. Swindon number 8 tapered boiler. The sandbox just there, water scoop, so it picks up water as it drives along, so they don't have to stop for water. It's a very ingenious idea. GWR Holiday speed to the west. GWR did not hesitate to capitalise on Holiday's location it served, and many of its later public posters have become collectible artworks. That's Cornwall. Some people say it looks a bit like Italy. By J.P. Thayer for a poster for GWR. More 1930s. The Great Western Railway poster advertising benefits for domestic holidays travel, 1912. Severn Tunnel. An unseen yet monument feature of engineering. Severn Tunnel represents a fragile truce between man and nature, now as an unseen and largely unsung engineering masterpiece. Another poster by John Wigley, poster for the GWR, travel down to Devon. Left men working on Severn Tunnel cutting at Port Sketty. Steam shovel can be seen on the right. Now that's the diagram of the Severn Tunnel. Top domed view is shown under the side view. 628 yards in length. Driver's Day, an illustration story collected from steam locomotive drivers' personal experiences. An illustration of the route gradient profile and the working of the engine. So it shows you how high it has to go. All the hills. Grouping, repairing, regrouping. painting by Victor Welch portrays Glasgow Bound train near the summit of Glen Orgley shortly after grouping. The pilot engine in Sears livery, the train engine in LMS Maynard Midland colours. August the 6th, Parliament Select Committee on Transporting Up. Major companies merged at the grouping. London North Eastern Railway LNER, London Midland and Scottish Railway LMS, Southern Railway SR, Great Western Railway GWR. Great Central Railway, Great Eastern Railway, Great Northern Railway, Hull and Barnsley Railway, North Eastern Railway, Great North of Scotland Railway, North British Railway, North Cologne Valley Heston Railway. That's LNER. LMS, London North Western Railway, Ferns Railway, Midland Railway, North Staffordshire Railway, Clarendon Railway, Glasgow and South Western Railway, Highland Railway, Doncott, Newark, Greysall Railway, North Counties Railway, Stafford upon Avon, Midland Junction Railway, Leicester and Yorkshire Railway, Maryport and Carlisle Railway. Southern Railway, London Brighton Southern Coast Railway, London Southern Western Railway, Southern Eastern Railway, Southern Eastern Chiltern Railway, Managed Committee, Southern Eastern Railway, London, Cheltenham and Dover Railway, Plymouth, Devonport and Southern Western Junction Railway, Leighton Barnstable Railway, Freshwater, Yarmouth, Newport Railway, Isle of Wight Railway, Isle of Wight Central Railway, Leon Light Railway, GWR, Great Western Railway, Barrier Railway, Combined Railway, Cardiff Railway, Riven Railway, Taff Vale Railway, Midland South Western Junction Railway, Langcliffe Railway, Glanf Railway, Bury Port Glasgow Railway, Brecon and Merth Railway, Netherton Brecon Railway, Sweden Harbour Trust Railway, Port Talbot Railway, Southern and Swansea Bay Windsor Axon Dock Railway. So all of them had to get together. So railways. Great Western Railway, London Northern Eastern Railway. Southern, London Midland and Scottish Railway. The end. Thanks for watching. Hope you like it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Thank you. Bye.